Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've ever tried to get an LLM to answer questions about your data, your documents, your database, your company knowledge, and gotten completely hallucinated answers, this video is for you. Today, we're building a full end-to-end RAG pipeline from scratch. RAG stands for Retrieval-Augmented Generation, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to build one that actually works in production. We'll cover everything from chunking your documents to building a vector store to wiring it all up with an LLM. We'll write real Python code, talk about real pitfalls, and I'll show you patterns that actually work in production. Let's get into it. So first, what exactly is RAG and why do we need it? Here's the problem. LLMs like GPT-4 or Claude are trained on data up to a certain point in time. They have no idea about your internal documents, your company's policies, your latest research papers. And when you ask them something they don't know, they hallucinate. RAG solves this by giving the model a way to look things up before answering. Think of it like an open book exam. Instead of asking the model to memorize everything, you give it the relevant pages from the textbook and then ask it to answer. Much more reliable. The RAG flow has 3 core steps. Number 1, retrieve. Find the most relevant chunks of text from your knowledge base. Number 2, augment. Stuff those chunks into the LLM's prompt as context. Number 3, generate. Let the LLM answer using that context. Simple concept, surprisingly powerful. Before we write any code, let's see the full architecture. There are 2 phases, indexing and querying. The indexing phase happens offline. You take your raw documents, split them into chunks, convert each chunk into a vector embedding, and store those embeddings in a vector database. The querying phase happens at runtime. A user asks a question, you embed that question, find the most similar chunks using vector search, and send those chunks plus the question to the LLM to generate an answer. That's the whole pipeline. Now let's build each piece. Step 1 is loading your documents and splitting them into chunks. Why chunks? Because LLMs have a context window limit. You can't stuff an entire 500-page PDF into a prompt, so we split documents into manageable pieces. Here's how we do it using LangChain. We load a PDF using PyPDF loader, then use recursive character splitter to split it. The chunk size is 1,000 characters with a 200-character overlap. That overlap is important because it prevents us from cutting off a sentence right at a chunk boundary and losing context. Now, chunking strategy matters a lot. Fixed size character splitting is simple but not always the best. You can also do sentence-based splitting, paragraph-based, or even semantic splitting where you group sentences by meaning. The right strategy depends on your document type. Step 2, converting text into embeddings. An embedding is just a list of numbers, a vector that captures the semantic meaning of a piece of text. Similar texts will have similar vectors. That's what makes search possible. For example, how do I reset my password? And I forgot my login credentials. These have different words but similar meaning. In embedding space, they'll be close together. Here's the code to generate embeddings using OpenAI's API. We initialize OpenAI embeddings and pass our text chunks. Each chunk becomes a high-dimensional vector, usually 1,536 dimensions for OpenAI's ADA002 model. If you want to run this locally without an API key, you can use sentence transformers from Hugging Face. The quality is slightly lower, but it's free and private. Step 3, storing and searching those embeddings. We need a database that's optimized for vector similarity search. There are many options: Fastest for local development, Pinecone or Weaviate for production cloud solutions, Chroma if you want something lightweight and open source. Here's how to set up Chroma. We create a Chroma vector store from our document chunks. Chroma handles storing the embeddings and the original text together. Now we can do similarity search, pass a query, and get back the most relevant chunks. That's it. 4 lines of code and you have semantic search over your documents.
Step 4, retrieval. This is where we actually find the relevant context. The simplest approach is cosine similarity search. Find the top K chunks most similar to the query, but there are smarter approaches. MMR, Maximal Marginal Relevance, balances relevance with diversity. Instead of returning 5 chunks that all say the same thing, it tries to return diverse, relevant chunks. Hybrid search combines keyword search with vector search. Sometimes a very specific technical term or a product ID is better found with keyword matching than semantic similarity. Here's how to set up a retriever with MMR. Search type equals MMR, fetch K equals 20. We fetch 20 candidates, then re-rank to return the top 5 most diverse and relevant ones. Step 5, the final piece. We take the retrieved chunks, plug them into a prompt template, and send it to the LLM. Here's the prompt template we'll use. We have a system message that tells the model to only use the provided context, then we insert the retrieved chunks as context and the user's question. This grounding instruction is critical. It tells the model, don't make things up, use only what's in the context. And here's the full chain. LangChain's retrieval QA chains it all together. We call it with a question, it retrieves relevant chunks, builds the prompt, calls the LLM, and returns the answer. We set return source documents to true so we can show the user where the answer came from, always good for transparency and debugging. Now let's see the full pipeline in one place. Load documents, split into chunks, generate embeddings and store them in Chroma, build a retriever, wire it to the LLM with a prompt template, done. You can run this locally today. Just install LangChain, OpenAI, and ChromaDB, add your API key, and point it at your documents. Now here's something most tutorials skip: evaluation. How do you know your RAG pipeline is actually good? There are 3 key metrics. Faithfulness, does the answer actually come from the retrieved context? Answer relevance, does the answer actually address the question? And context precision, did we retrieve the right chunks? A great tool for this is RAGAS, an open-source framework specifically for evaluating RAG pipelines. You give it your questions, answers, contexts, and ground truth answers, it scores each metric automatically. Don't skip evaluation. A pipeline that feels good in demos can completely fail on edge cases. Before you ship this to production, here are the gotchas I've hit the most. Number 1, chunk size tuning. There's no universal best size. Too small, you lose context. Too large, you dilute relevance. Test on your actual data. Number 2, metadata filtering. If you have documents from different departments or time periods, add metadata and filter at retrieval time. Don't mix HR docs with engineering docs in the same retrieval. Number 3, re-ranking. After vector search, run a cross-encoder re-ranker. It's slower but significantly more accurate. Cohere and BGE both have great re-ranking models. Number 4, caching. Embeddings are expensive. Cache your document embeddings so you're not regenerating them every time. Number 5, observability. Log every query, retrieved chunk, and answer. You'll need this to debug failures and improve the pipeline. And that's a complete end-to-end RAG pipeline, from raw documents all the way to a grounded, production-ready Q&A system. To recap, we covered document loading and chunking, generating embeddings, storing them in a vector database, smart retrieval strategies, building the generation chain, evaluation with RAGAS, and production tips. If you want me to do a deep dive on any of these steps, like advanced chunking strategies or how to scale this to millions of documents, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Like the video if it helped, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy building!